So potentially, guys, where it's at is I want you to picture ourselves now. We each have an individual target audience of X amount of people in which we can target because of our demographic, yeah? So when we're sitting there on an audience, we're posting our content and we have, let's say, an audience of 100, but maybe 5 or 10 engage. 5 or 10 engage with that audience and they sit there and they're like, fuck yeah, I've got 5 followers. So what we do is we have the 100 followers that are from Ryan Bennett. They then get retargeted. Then we have a video from Nick, retargeted towards the same audience that we've started the chain at. Then Nick gets the 5 followers that had Ryan plus another 5 followers. Then what we do is we retarget towards that exact same audience, creating a lookalike and a retargeting audience back towards that. We then do a video, free content. None of this is paid. None of this is call to action. All of this is just free value. Hey, I'm Nick Arachi, head nutritionist, head transformation coach here at Limitless Success Institute. I'm here to run you through some free value around nutrition. Ryan's here to run you through some free value around weight training. Then we do a third compounded ad by Krista. Hey, it's Krista Tier here. I'm here to follow you through, run you through, bang. Then we do a 4th video from another coach. So every time we're doing it, still a 100-person audience, but we're getting 5 new people, 5 new people, 5 new people, 5 new people, 5 new people. You've got 10 coaches. Your 100 audience that are seeing the same videos, they see 20 interactions from Limitless Success Institute. That 100 audience that originally we were trying to do a call to action on 5 has now went to a call to action on of 50. But you've created a lookalike audience, which is then created from that 50 to 500. They've all been seeing the same videos. So you're doing a retargeting ad with a lookalike audience and you're getting new people that are like those 5. So your original engagement was 5, which if you were retarget or do a lookalike, you get 50. You've now turned your 50 into 500. You've now got 500 engaging, raving fans watching your content, sitting there going, what the fuck is Limitless Success? We then get them into a call to action and we sit there and we have the call to action of the people like, fuck. Then what I want to do is I want to say, fuck, like they got this call to action and it's on like maybe like the 7th or 8th video. You know what I mean? Like we're just putting this content out there for like a week, 2 weeks. And then week 3, we're not sitting there because you've got 500 people that are like fucking screaming, like, what's this Limitless Success? I want to be involved. And instead of sitting there and being like, we come to you. All right, now we're doing it for the next week. We're going to have an application where everybody can come on board. It's like open the doors and they're running through fucking hand over fist. You know what I mean? Like they're running through, clawing, biting, scratching to get on board because there's 500, but there's only 50 spots available. You know what I mean? So then these people have watched, interacted. So Kerwin spoke about last night, there's minimum of 20 interactions before a person purchases. Back in the past, it used to be around about, it went from, I think, 2 to a 4 to a 6 to an 8 to now 20. Because the problem that we have is that we're only focusing on trying to get a call to action after running an ad for a week and they've only seen our ad 3 times. That's why we're getting fuck all and the leads are expensive. So we give massive amounts of value. Doesn't have to be done expensively, and it's done through different platforms where different people are getting seen. So there's massive value from a massive connection and community of people. So the value is coming as a value stack. So it's like, all right, that's 10 different videos from the same company that I've seen involved with this. I've only seen Joe Blow that runs his own online health and fitness program. That's just him as one coach. But I've seen 10 different coaches with 10 different avenues of value. What the hell is this? So we don't know who they're going to relate to. We don't know that. But what we do know is they'll see something one day of the week that'll get that person into our chain. Then what we do is once we have their email address, we're then value stacking on top with the same videos. We then can get Dan or whoever's going to run the marketing in the back end to see which ones are getting the most traction, which ad is then getting the most people opt in. And then what we do is we send that coach's ad more towards that person. So if we know it's Sally from Sydney and she's 35 or between 25 and 35 and she's a single mum, we're going to flood her with Krista's ads. You know what I mean? Krista is going to have an email chain of bang, 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 bang. If it's a young dude, 25 to 45, and he's looking to put on muscle, you're going to flood him with Nick Arachi and Ryan. Bang, 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 bang. Then they're going to start opting in. Do you know what I mean? We can have this email trail because we have so many array of coaches that the lead cost will go down. So we all put it into an overall lead system. We all contribute towards the one ad set, so the one lot of ads, And then what we do is we then just filter the leads and disperse the leads from there. Instead of having like 10 here, $10 here, $15 here, $12 here, trying to find the best one, we channel it all into one, and then we just distribute leads. And it's went from $15 a lead to roughly $2 to $3 a lead. Plus the exposure and the people that we're having engaging has went exponentially. So our pixel strengthens. Is that all making sense, guys? Yeah, unmute yourself, Steph. Yeah?
Yeah, no, it does, brother. You always blow my mind, mate. You always blow my mind. I probably get about 80% of what you're saying, and fucking, you're always good, mate. You're always just one step ahead of the game, Brazzy. Good. Good.
So,
Yeah,
you'd be a brilliant chess player, wouldn't you, brother? Like, because you got that autistic mindset and you calculate it all, and you'd be like 8 steps ahead of that other guy. You picked the wrong thing. You could be a world-class chess player.
All right.
Imagine big humor.
Okay, moving forward.
All right.
So basically where it's at is like we have all these people and we have all these like different array of coaches, but we're not utilizing them at the moment. We're still doing individual ad sets targeting at different people. But why not corral the same target market, get the same people to watch the same videos, getting massive amounts of value stack? Like, we don't need to do a call to action after 1 week because the person is they're still cold as fuck. Like, value stack consistently for like a week or two, and then you have an application and the people will run through the door because it's like, these guys have nutrition, they've got mindset, they've got relationships, they've got strength and conditioning, they've got all these different things, and they'll compare it in their minds to the other ads they're seeing. And the other thing is that they'll compare it to that and they'll be like, why the fuck would I go with one person when I can have the option to work with all these different people? And as I said, like, you guys are probably, this is the big thing, the key indicator to understand. You guys are probably promoting to an audience that only 5, as I said, will be engaging with you. 5 of those people will actually be intrigued by what you do. And the other 95 are just swiping past, and you're wasting your money because you're trying to put it in front of their face and they don't care. But that same audience, you might have 5 people that will then, as I said, that relate to Krista. Your same audience will relate to Marvin. You'll have those, and then we corral them into that. And then we just look alike, and then we just expand. Because we want to just make sure that we're hitting the people that aren't just watching or aren't just half watching and not engaging. Like, give them what they want. No one else can do this because no one else has a set of different variety of coaches from all different demographics that can then target the same audience. We don't want to split audiences. We want to have literally everybody in the room. So I compare it to, I'll give an example. This will make everyone who watches this will make it really simple. We fill a auditorium full of 1,000 people. We then have each of the coaches selling Optimize walk across the stage, do their pitch, walk across their stage, do the pitch, until the entire auditorium buys. The entire auditorium will sit there and be like, fuck. And they all are buying the same program. It's like, all right, Stefan had a crack at people trying to get him on board with the health and fitness. Marvin has a crack trying to get him on board with the relationship. But we're not having a crack until the last day, and that's when we do the call to action. Does that make sense? So we're just giving them massive amounts of value as if they were a client. The next thing we're going to do, guys, and this is the biggest thing that we need to understand, is that we're not utilizing the platforms correctly. This is something that I learned from Kerwin last night too, is that with the live videos, with everything we do, that audience needs to be continually warmed and grown because the pixel will still create from your business page. So we need to make sure the business page is reflective of what we're posting, and we're posting that mirroring the ads we're putting out. So the lives need to be valued of what you are good at, and it needs to be targeting and warming that audience. We also need to do that on Facebook and Instagram because Facebook and Instagram are not good enough. We're all doing individual stuff at the moment, and we're only getting a few people trickle into our system, but we need to all basically like corral the whole market so everyone's getting pushed back into that middle system. Because when they're all pushed back into that middle system, the whole thing's going to be like, boom, boom, there they are. Then they come through the filter chain. So Facebook, Instagram, and the one that we don't utilize at all is Snapchat. We just don't utilize it. And Kerwin made a really good point with this was Snapchat is one of the most underutilized platforms, but is the most personal platform. Yeah? Because Snapchat is literally a video to video platform where you can only interact by video to video, and people are actually like seeing that. There's also no other white noise because there's not posts, there's not writing, there's not text, there's just video. So if we can get like a limitless success Snapchat, I'm happy to run it. I don't really care who runs it. Or we have our Snapchat. We can all promote from our platforms of Snapchat as well, because a lot of us probably aren't promoting what we do. We probably don't even have Snapchat. And that's just a video platform where it's like, you put that up, add me on Snapchat, see what my daily days are like. You know what I mean? Where it's like behind the scenes are limitless, behind the scenes are optimized. Then see what I'm doing with that. So then people can be like, oh, like, I love your work. I love to see how hard you guys are working. Nick, I love to see the workouts you did. Like, they'll see your workout and they'll reach out because they know that they'll see a snap back straight away, and they can know when you've read stuff and they can know all that. Like, it's very personal. Does that make sense? Because you can actually gain leads from Snapchat.
I think that's what EHP Labs do. They do, like, all their athletes will take it over on a different day. So it'll be like Monday, Zach's taken over the EHP Snapchat, and then he just goes through his nutrition and his training and what he does.
Yep. So exactly the same principles across all the platforms. We need to start to really promote the one platform, because we can still do the individual stuff, but you got to think of, like, when we're front end promoting and people are seeing this, yes, look at it from a perspective of, you've got a team of 10, they're growing and they're benefiting from that. Then your team of 10 gets the confidence to start doing the videos as well. Then the momentum starts to grow and everyone's talking about this one freaking program. You know what I mean? They're talking about the one thing. It's like, think about the billions and millions of dollars that Coca-Cola and Apple have spent to get people to endorse their brand. We're not doing that as the moment. We're all trying to endorse individual stuff. And that's why they're like $1 billion company, because they've got all these people talking about Coca-Cola, or all these people talking about Adidas. Like, you know this, Marvin, because your partner works for Adidas. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, or worked or still works, I'm pretty sure. Like, they have all these athletes, all these people, like, talking about Adidas, and the bigger ones, like, obviously with the bigger reach, get that. But we have a lot of strength in numbers at this point in time, but we're all doing individually disbanded stuff and disjointed stuff. So it's like, the videos need to be regular, the content needs to be regular, and we need to really do it. I can delve into the Snapchat stuff that I learned from Kerwin anyway. I can delve into that a lot deeper. But for now, it's like Instagram and Facebook are our friends, but all reverting back to the corralled person, because you don't know where the person's going to buy. But I would rather one of us get the sale than none of us get the sale. Let's be honest with ourselves. We don't know whether they're going to buy it on the email chain or on the video chain at Krista, whether it's at Nick, whether it's at Ryan, whether it's at Marvin, but at least they're coming into our program, because then that person that we signed in will then lead us to their network. You know what I mean? So then we might benefit. You might then get from, let's say you signed Sally up. She bit from Marvin did a video, Ryan did a video, Nick did a video, Chris did a video. She went in at Ryan's point and Ryan got the sale, but then she's in our platform and then she starts talking about it. But then she's talking about it. He then get her friend saw Sally's video on her platform, and then Nick gets the sale, and then so on and so forth. We just need people to be corralled back into talking about this program. And because we have so many people to do it, that's what we need to do. So I want us to start thinking about what is valuable content that you could do over a 7-day period. Just say, let's think of 7 videos. And what we're going to do also, another thing that Kerwin spoke about, is we do captioning. Have you seen how everyone's going away from just clear video to captioning now? There is a thing called, I'll send you guys the link. It is a website. It's $1 a minute. So if you're doing a 3-minute video max or a 2-minute video, it's going to cost you $2. You just send it to them. They send it back within 24 hours. They'll do the full captioning for us. And we're going to do just value stack videos, not just standing in front of a white backdrop wall. Be in the environment in which you're doing. So, like, for example, when Alex watches this, Alex will be able to do cooking in the kitchen. Here's a quick, easy 20-second, 30-second, 2-minute video on how to cook XX, you know what I mean? XYZ. That's cool. That's going to get massive traction. They're going to be like, fuck, where's that? Like, oh, I'd love to get more of Alex. You know what I mean? And then Ryan jumps on, here's how to perform the perfect bloody back, or I don't know, seated row or something. You know what I mean? Like, all these different things. Chris can jump on and then do value on something. So it's just value stacking. So does everyone like this idea? Is everyone sort of on board with it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because if I'm just going to revert back to it, if the average cost of leads as individually is around about $10 to $12, $15, and we can get the cost per lead down to $3 and then just distribute the leads, I know what I'd be rather spending on. You know what I mean? You're getting $3 leads that are extremely warm. They've seen 10, 20, 30 different coaches' faces in the future when we've got all these people. Like, it's just going to be a matter of closing the sale. That will get us. So if we can all increase the activity, we be the leaders in this. I'm going to get the other guys to watch this as a mandatory because they have to watch this to see exactly what it's about. We're going to start doing this and corralling it back in, but with strong precedents, you know what I mean? Like really setting that we're doing it regularly. We're doing this post to create this energy. And then once we have that creation, the leads will then pick up and flow. Has anyone else got any ideas that they think could benefit at the moment or not? No?
No, I think videos will just be massive.
Christo,
That's something, even in my own business, that's something I've stepped away from, like lives and stuff. And yeah, there's just not as much organic traction as there used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
how does, if you can quickly run through it, or if you want me to call you after, but how does like retargeting a video into whatever you called it, like how do you actually do that?
So I'll talk to Dan about this, and Dan will be able to run that aspect. And then what I'll do is I might even get him to film just a tutorial based around like the retargeting aspect. But
yeah,
we're all using the same ClickFunnels at the moment. So we're all using the same ad account at the moment as well. So it's important to have retargeting going on through that. So what it does is basically it'll show who's engaged with the video for X amount of time. And then what it does is then it retargets that same ad back towards those 5 people that I was talking about. So you got 5 people that have watched your video for 30 seconds or more. Then your next video you put out, they'll already be as an engaging, they're a fan. So they go from being like just a client to a fan. And then once they've done that, they'll then start to see your stuff again and again and again. That's what I'm saying. Like if we start picking and getting all the different people in from all the different engagements, all towards the one program, that's where it grows. Because you all 5 of us have 5 people that 5 people that 5 people that engage. Then you've got an audience from 5 to 50, and then create a lookalike audience from that 50, then turn that 50 into 500, as opposed to 5 into 50. You're timing 50 by 10 instead of 5 by 10. That's where your numbers become exploded and your leads become extremely cheap. Because then we just do, for future ads, we just do retargeting back towards the lookalike audiences. We do retargeting with the lookalike, and these people just become massive fans. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So a retarget's just back towards basically when someone's seen something.
Yeah. I think I've done that before, retargeting. Like you just retarget whoever's landed on the landing page. It's the lookalike audience I've never played around with, so I have no idea what that is.
Let's say, for example, if you're a demographic age 25 to 35 males that follow, males that live in Sydney that follow this, and this, we can create an identical mirror image, an avatar of who you are and what you are as a demographic, and get the same interest, likes, and pages followed that you have, and then retarget back towards people that are just like Ryan Bennett.
Yeah, right.
Because if you notice, like, okay, I'll give the example. If you look at Conor McGregor, let's say Conor McGregor. If you look at Conor McGregor's fans, they're generally Irish, between 25 to 45, generally love to have a scrap, generally love to drink piss, generally are pretty identical to Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? So you think about it like, if you do the same sort of thing with an audience of what we are trying to get on board with what we do, there will be thousands of people that are fans just like the one fan that we had. So we create a lookalike audience that is just like that. Like we'll use Marvin, for example. Marvin wears Adidas. His partner works Adidas, loves Adidas, loves boxing, loves training, loves Floyd Mayweather. So we could then do a split audience where we target people that love Adidas, love training, love boxing, love Floyd Mayweather, and they would be very similar to Marvin in their characteristics, their mannerisms, because people have. So marketing's a psychological game. This is what everyone needs to remember. It is a very psychological game. Everyone takes away from it and thinks that marketers are the only ones that know how to market. Psychologists know behavioral patterns. That's what marketing is. It's a behavioral patterning, where it's behavioral characteristics and patterns. So the thing Erwin was speaking about is he's a master in psychology. We're all masters in psychology. So start to think more about understanding the behavioral patterns of people. what are the problems that the people are facing, give them the solutions to the problems, and then get the behavioural patterns where they're all following. Like rugby league, rugby union, AFL, they all wear the same colours of their team. They all drink the same exact alcohol that is on the team's jersey. They all drink this. Like the big companies have been doing this for years on a massive platform through television where everyone follows the same thing. They know that they're going to produce bloody TAB ads or, I don't know, TAB or pizza ads when people are watching Friday Night Football. It's the biggest time for people to purchase. They're going to flood it full of alcohol ads, you know what I mean? Like, we need to target the same on Facebook. Don't take away from the way they do it. That's all we need to be aware of. So, like, we're going to get a demographic, we're going to corral the demographic, and we're going to get them all into our demographic, and we're going to make them our target audience. So every time we want to then do new ads, it'll be the same people that have been watching us for fucking months, weeks, and years. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So this way, we're actually utilizing what we have. Otherwise, we're going back to old school, the original marketing where you were one person and have to do that. So what I want to do is I want us to go off and I want us to write down a list of things that you believe would be value posts. And remember this fact, it is a social, this is what Kerwin said last night, and was one thing that was just so correct. It is a social media platform, not a sales platform. So be social, ask questions in your videos, get engagement. If you can get somebody to say, oh, I love that idea, Krista, I love that idea, Marvin, please tell me more, you'll get a sale pretty much from the get-go. So you can get engaged in a conversation. Like when you're talking about stuff, like Nick, you do it sometimes. Krista, I've seen you do it a couple of times. Like, hey guys, so what do you reckon of this? Like get the person engaged and they're like, yeah, love that idea, sister, or love that idea, Nick. And like, hey guys, and then at the end of it or midway through, like, is that all making sense to everyone that's watching this? Like talk as if they're there, even if it's a recorded video. Talk as if there's a person there. So then the person will just reach out and be like, oh, don't just talk at someone. Be like, oh yeah, I want to answer that. And they're like, yeah, Nick, like, because their subconscious mind will just take over and they'll just respond as if they were having a chat with you. And then you've got that person there and then you can respond back to them. Does that make sense? Because that is how we engage people. And then Facebook, Instagram, we're going to speak about Snapchat in the future. I'm going to probably look at doing Kerwin's business, which is like Nail It and Scale It. And then I'll look at doing his K2 program as well. Because I just had a realization on the weekend, like we're all focusing, not on the weekend, but yesterday when I was talking to him when I was there as well, like we're focusing on the delivery and sales. But what's the fucking most important thing before any of that? The marketing. Like we need to really nail that. Otherwise, we've got the door-to-door, which is going to be sales, but we're going to lose people without marketing. We need to really nail that. So this Zoom call was really about nailing the marketing, getting people to really just all work together. So guys, if there's no more questions, if anyone has any more questions, feel free to ask now. But if not, I'll stop this recording. I'll get everyone else to watch it. Please make sure you get everybody to watch it, like because we want our senior leaders to do this. And we're not just going to do every and any idea. We're going to be selective in it. We're going to make sure the videos have a standard, because I don't just want it like Joe Blow to just post something that's going to be a paid video. We can do that for live videos, but I want us to have like a good solid standard of what we put out. Yeah? Sweet. All right, guys. Thanks all for jumping on.
Sounds good, man.
I'll talk to you all soon.